Hey guys, how's it going today? WJ Hunkler coming at you here, and today I've got another review for you. This is my mom's old 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan Express. I traded my dad my Yukon for this van. The Yukon's transmission bit the dust, so I decided to get rid of it. So I sold it to him and I bought this from him. So as mentioned, this is our new ride. This is 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan Express. Base model, no options. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give you guys an in-depth look at the Grand Caravan. We're going to go ahead, start her up, show you that beautiful Pentastar V6, get an exhaust clip, show you some of the features on the exterior as well as interior. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead, start this bad girl up and let her run. So obviously being a base model 2011, this does not have factory remote start. However, hopefully before winter shows up, I will change that with aftermarket. If not, we'll do it next spring. So let's go ahead and start her up. This particular example has 150,453 miles on it. I took it for a little test drive after I had it, after I went and registered it in the state of Michigan. As you can see there, the check engine light is on. Yeah, I gotta go refigure out what that is. And the brake light is on because I had the parking brake set. So, now let's go ahead. We're gonna pop the hood and show you guys the engine. Okay, so under the hood of the 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan and its sibling, the Chrysler Town & Country, the only engine option was this 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 engine. It makes 283 horsepower and 260 foot-pound-feet of torque. The EPA rates this engine at 17 city and 25 on the highway. I can very much tell you that it gets way better mileage than that. We've taken this van on many, many road trips, and I still lived at home. I lived at home with my mom and dad, and we got well over 30 miles per gallon with this thing. The only transmission option available is the 6-speed RFE automatic transmission with the auto stick shiftability. You guys can hear that thing just runs smooth as butter, and it's got 150,000 miles on it. So we're gonna go ahead and give you guys a little exhaust clip. Alright, what a wonderful sounding V6. A little bit of MagnaFlow will be sounding even better. Alright, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is give you guys a tour of the exterior, and then we'll move on to the interior. Take you guys off the tripod here for a minute. There we go. Okay, so this being a 2011 was the first year for this body style, and Chrysler has not changed it since, because my folks just bought a 2019 and it looks exactly the same. So, this particular color is known as Bright Silver Metallic. It has the jet black cloth interior. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. Halogen projector style headlights. We are going to go ahead and change those in a little while. I have some new headlights on the way for it. Nice crosshair grille. I will be changing that. I want to put a bullet insert in here. You guys can tell here, I got my bracket ready to go for two 6.5-inch LED fog lights I'm putting on. Because from the factory there, as you guys can see, this being a base model, it doesn't have that. So we're going to put the bullet inserts here and right down in here. Looking nice. So, like I mentioned, this was all new for 2011, and it has not really changed for the 2019 model year. Being a base model, this has 16-inch steelies on it. Be good enough for the winter, although I wouldn't mind putting some 17s for the summertime. These are, I believe, the 235/60/16s. They were optional. The optional tire size, the base came standard with 225/60/16s. These tires are okay. They got about 30,000 miles on them. They'll be good enough to get me through the winter until we put new ones on next spring. I really do love this generation Grand Caravan. And one of the main features I'll show you here in a little bit as we get into the exterior. So back here, non-manual power liftgate. That's okay. Don't really need power anyway. My father and I did put a hitch on this. These Grand Caravans in Town and Countries are rated to about 3,600 pounds. As you guys can see here, it has the jet black cloth interior. I did do a little bit of detailing on the interior just to get her cleaned up on the inside. Nice and deep back here. Put all your stuff. And the seats do fold down. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Here you got a nice little storage tray. Inside there, you guys can see a little picture right there that has the jack and stuff for the spare tire. Spare tire is underneath towards the front. So this third row, thanks to Stow and Go, has 60/40 split third row seats. Very simple. Pull one, pull two over here, three right here, and the fourth one, pull it right in the floor. And same thing for the other side. If I could get my finger on there, that'd be easy. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there you have a nice flat load cargo floor. I don't remember the exact cubic feet, although I can tell you when the third and second rows are folded in on the floor, it is big enough to hold 10 4x8 sheets of plywood in the back of this thing, I can tell you that. And then reversed, fold up these seats is very simple. Pull up. Thing on this side. Pull your rope. A little difficult to do that one-handed. And you pull 3. Oops. Nope. Okay, still gotta pull 2. There we go. Pull up. Pull the headrest. Pull 2. And pull 4. And Chrysler was nice enough to give you Velcro so you can stick the ties in there so they don't get lost with your cargo. And you pull the headrest back up. Nice and simple. I love that about these Grand Caravans in Town and Countries. Perfect to stow on your stuff. It does have a little bit of rust. Nothing that I can't fix. Unlike the last 2 vehicles I've had. A little bit right here. Bit one on the tailgate and a little bit starting here on both sides of the quarter panels, but nothing too major. These newer gens are, of course, capable with E85, and as I mentioned, the EPA rates this at 17 city, 25 on the highway. But I can tell you from experience, it gets way over 30 on the highway. There. Open up our second row. You can see here, nice clean interior. Got it all detailed up, looking nice. All your storage containers and whatnot. This also has rear air. So, now, the main reason I love these 2011 and newer Grand Caravans and Chrysler Town and Countries is very simple. I'm going to get the tripod so I can show you this a little easier. Okay, so what I'm about to show you is my favorite feature about the 2011 to 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan and Chrysler Town and Countries. Okay, and they even have them on the new Pacifica. This is what Chrysler calls Stow and Go. And god darn do I love it. Okay, so what you gotta do is pull the seat, Pull the front seats all the way forward. Both seats all the way forward. And then it's a matter of doing this. Moving the floor mats. Folding up the floor. And pulling the handle. I'll show you guys on the other side. Pulling the handle on the side of the seat. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt. There we go. And right into the floor. And in a matter of 30 seconds, you're putting 8x4 sheets of plywood in the back of your minivan. So, like I just did on the other side, you want to pull this little handle. Okay, so what you're going to want to do, fold the floor up. I'll show you guys this up a little closer, but as you can see, it's pretty deep in there, a whole lot of shit. Pull the handle, seat folds forward, and in the floor you go. And look at that, in a matter of 1 minute, you fold all the seats down, you're shoving 4x8 sheets of plywood in the back of your Dodge Grand Caravan or Town and Country. And then, of course, it's just as easy to fold them back up when you are done hauling whatever it is that you need to haul. Ta-da! Nice and simple. Okay? And as you guys just saw, tons of room to put tons of stuff. So underneath the floor, when you don't have the seat in its stow position, you guys can see in there, there is a crap ton of room for a crap ton of shit. Lots and lots of shit. And I'm going to probably fill that up in no time flat. Very comfortable seats. I do have some actual WeatherTech style floor mats. No, I'm not being paid to say that. They are not actual WeatherTechs. They are WeatherTech style though. No second power windows or nothing. Nothing too fancy, it's just a base model. I am very comfortable back here. Got a lot of memory sitting in the back of this old van. Lots of road trips. And now it's mine. Seats are still in very nice shape even after 150,000 miles of being used all the time. Like I mentioned, you do have rear air controls back here. You got your fan speed, got the temp, and 3 different zones. You got it on your face and feet, and just feet. Zoom in there a little bit. There. Zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that. There we go. We also have vents back here, as well as handles. There we go. More vents, another handle. Also have coat hooks and a few more vents in the 3rd row. Now, move on to the front seat. Lots and lots of storage. Got your fake wood grain accessing, your chrome door handle, power mirrors, power windows, only for the front 2 windows, and of course power locks. Base model sound system, sounds okay for being basic. And then you got a nice cubby tray storage, it's a little dirty. Got a nice LED light there. Eventually we'll be changing all of these interior lights to LED, like we did in the Yukon. Cup holder, a little more storage, and another storage pocket right there. Down here, of course, we got our headlight controls, gauge cluster lights. That's where the power pedal adjustment would be if this had it. And of course, standard on pretty much all Chryslers now is your audio controls are on the other side for your volume, and this controls through your favorites. Got another little storage cubby down here. Nice cloth seats. I really wish they were leather, but beggars can't be choosers. I got my cheap $5 floor mats in here for now till tomorrow when my WeatherTech style mats show up tomorrow. Okay. Now, get the keys out from underneath the camera here. Put her back up and we'll show you guys some of the features. So obviously you got your vents. Over there on the other side, this one's kind of flimsy. Go ahead and roll that window up. So like I mentioned, light controls. This controls the interior lights. There we go. Alright. Gauge cluster. Looks very nice. 150,453 miles. Like I mentioned, this has the 6-speed automatic transmission with auto stick ability. The ability to manually shift it. Nice. Okay, in the middle here, in between the two gauge clusters, obviously this doesn't have the bigger, I believe that would have been a 5.5-inch screen. This only has the 3.5-inch. To control it, you hit the setup button, and of course the reset is for the trip. Over here you have your cruise control settings. So that shows our mileage, the mileage on the van. We've got our trip odometers there. Our distance to empty. Oh, it just went up. Cool. Sometimes it's a little stubborn. You have an electronic speedo. If you don't feel like looking at the traditional analogs. Your analog clock, analog tack, and analog speedo, along with your gas gauge and engine temperature. And our average miles per gallon. And the temperature outside. And of course, you guys can see there you got your park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then that is for the auto stick. Yes, I'm aware the check engine light is on. It's something for the evap. That is where you insert the key. Over here, we got our standard base radio with single CD player and aux, which I plugged my satellite radio into. Not a sponsor, although SiriusXM, if you're listening, hook me up. Right now, I currently have a CD in there. Got our radio, AM, FM, CD, and of course aux. It's just a single disc. There we go. Sounds pretty good for being a basic sound system. Pretty good for a base model system, if I do say. Shut that down for YouTube copyright claim purposes. Got two vents there. Down here we have our climate controls. This does have dual climate control, which I'm really excited about. Got our fan speed there in the middle, along with our recirculation. Obviously, both the passenger and driver can select their own temp, which is awesome. And got AC right there. If you press on that, that does the AC. And got your zip and zones on your face and feet. Defrost, front defrost and feet, front and rear defrost. Down here we got our econ button, which helps with the fuel economy. EPA, I want you to rewrite these. Got your hazards there. That would have been the 110 power outlet converter, if this had it. And then your traction control. Got a nice little tray right there. Right in here we got our cup holder and change holder. Down here we got another little storage cubby, along with two 12-volt power outlets. That one right there is for when you have it only plugged into the key, and that one is for battery. Obviously, this does not, being a base model, does not have the super console. A super console would have come up right up into here. Underneath, covered the whole thing, had multiple set of cup holders. This does not have it. I would like to go to a junkyard and find one. right inside here, you got a pretty deep little console to hold some of your stuff, which is nice. Put our cup holders back there for right now. Decide exactly what I want to do with them. I have upper. Oh, right behind this garbage right there, right in here, right there, there would have been a USB port if this was a higher trim. And right in there, you got your standard size glove box. Very, very nice. Up here, obviously, a regular auto non-dipping rearview mirror. Got your map lights there. This also has the rear passenger mirror. Get this stupid, there we go. Got your mirror right there. And it also doubles as a sunglass holder. Now up here you would have had the buttons for your power gate, power doors, and something else. I don't remember what Chrysler had there. Got your visors. Flip up with no lights. And this one I don't believe has a flip up at all. You guys can see there, very nice. Nice and clean. I love these Grand Caravans. You guys can see there, visibility out that back window is okay. You can fold down the headrest and be alright. Dash is still in very nice shape. And up here, I'm going to put my phone holder and thing for the XM. That windshield is very dirty. I have to clean it. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do now, I'm going to set the tripod up and we're going to take it for a little test drive. Now, go ahead, take this bad girl for a test drive. I was gone for a few days. I was going back to Ashland for some races. So it's been a couple days since it's been driven. So this is perfect for it. Do our parking brake. Pull her in gear and away we go. Now, being that this thing is already going on 9 years old, you're probably going to notice some rattles and creaks, which is to be expected, being as old as it is already. But it will serve me just fine for my winter use and for a racing rig. Now, what I mean by racing rig, I try to attend as many races as I can per year. Try to attend as many races as I can per year. And this thing is going to make it a hell of a lot easier because it gets such good mileage. I could throw all my crap in the back of it. All my crap in the back of it. And throw a mattress in the back. So I can sleep at all the different events. Which is going to work out slicker than snot. So, I'll take you guys for a little ride. And unfortunately for me, this stupid camera doesn't want to stay up. So, thank you guys for a little ride. Now, for being a minivan, this thing's still not. Shit. Sorry about that, guys. I still haven't figured out this test driving portion yet. It does have some get up and go for being a minivan. Like that V600 odd. Gets good mileage. I got plenty of get up and go. Now, obviously, this being the south side of I-81, hasn't been redone in about 100 years. So excuse the rough road. different test loop for you guys. Give you guys an actual view of what it's like to actually ride and drive this thing. For being such a rough road, this thing rides really nice. Being built on a car chassis, of course I would expect it to, but it still rides nice. Nice and smooth, lots of storage. Stupid low tire light came back on. Perfect. Look at that. Son of a bitch. Trust that thing stay there? Probably not. Every doggone bump makes the camera shake a little bit, but you guys get the general idea. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed our tour of my new ride, the 2011 Dodge Grand Caravan Express. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. Make sure to like it, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. WJ Hunkler signing out as always. Thanks.